the soul kid of Amy and Matt Roloff, who even as an adult continued to shoot for Little People Big World, was Zach Roloff. But when Little People Big World Season 25 aired, the pair made an announcement about their departure from the program. After the farm feud, there was already a great deal of underlying tension between Zach and Matt. Since then, Tori and Zach have been traveling alone and sharing an honest picture of themselves on their podcast, Raising Heights. The pair discusses the things they were unable to accomplish while filming for TLC while there. Zach finally broke down and discussed the negative parts of being on the program on a recent episode. Zach and his brothers were little children when Little People Big World debuted on TLC. Thus, having cameras follow you around all the time shapes a person's youth in a totally different way. Tori ended up asking her husband, Zach, about his childhood experience filming for Little People Big World on a recent episode of their podcast. Zach, however, didn't hold back when disclosing startling and harsh information. Zach said that when they had to film in public spaces, he could not handle it. He dubbed it the fishbowl effect because people would constantly be staring at his family since a camera team was filming them, making him feel like he was in a fishbowl. The cast member disclosed how the staff would persuade them to take a seat in the center of the eatery for the ideal lighting and perspective. Zach already had to deal with being uncomfortable with glances because he hailed from a little-person household. Therefore, it didn't assist to include a camera team in that calculation. The star of Little People Big World admitted that there were some parts of filming that she enjoyed as a child. Zach, meanwhile, was always opposed to being outside. Without viewing their life through the prism of TLC, Tori and Zach have been disclosing personal information about themselves on their own terms. These former stars of Little People Big World are now podcasters. They are thus broadcasting on national television a ton of content that the cameras were unable to record. The mother said how, after the initial operation, their son Jackson needed to have some repairs made and one of the screws in his legs replaced. In any case, Jackson was certain that he didn't want cameras in the home or the medical facility. As Tori was documenting their son's first operation, she disclosed that the family had not gotten his permission. Therefore, they made the decision to honor his desires the second time. Supporters expressed happiness that Tori and Zach's children were gradually beginning to understand the value of privacy. As a result, there have been rumors that Tori and Zach's children had a role in their decision to leave the program. Do you think their theory makes sense? On Little People Big World, Zach and Tori Roloff have lived a substantial portion of their life together. Viewers followed their journey from falling in love to rising together. As a result, their happy ever-after tale captured the hearts of many, and fans couldn't get enough of their connection. Tori disclosed that her father opposed their relationship in the midst of all of this. Indeed, Tori's father wasn't convinced that marrying Zach was the correct choice for her. Did she thus walk down the aisle against her father's wishes? When the celebrity eventually spoke up about it, she revealed some startling things. What had Tori disclosed? Is her father content now? With their new podcast, Raising Heights, former Little People Big World stars Tori and Zach Roloff are now amusing their listeners. The truth behind mixed height dating, their most recent episode, discussed Tori's father's response upon learning about Zach for the first time. The celebrity claimed that the first time she told her dad about Zach was when they were getting ready for their first date. When Tori showed her father images of Zach, he was in shock. She remembered how her father had informed her right immediately that this wasn't the type of person he had imagined for her. The father was very opposed to Tori and Zach's relationship since he had no idea what her daughter was getting into. Tori remembered her father asking her several times whether she was certain. But after meeting Zach, the latter's viewpoint totally shifts. The famous person was content to acknowledge that her father now thinks more highly of her spouse than she did. As he escorted Tori away from her father, Zach wasn't certain about this, but it's not the only thing. After her friends and family met Cash and realized why she was in love with him, Tori said how all of their questions disappeared from their minds. Tori and Zach Roloff, stars of Little People Big World, have been together for over 8 years. They are presently living their happily ever after period and have built a lovely family of 3 children. Their differences in height don't seem to have caused any problems in their relationship, as they have approached every choice with respect and understanding for one another. However, it seems that things weren't always the same. Recently, Tori talked about how she first thought she had a type. She said that she never really exhibited interest in males who were shorter than her and would push them away. She never really thought about height being a problem, though, until things started to work out with Zach. Tori acknowledged that there was nothing about her spouse that she would have ever thought to criticize. Zach himself acknowledged that his wife had never thought of his height as a disadvantage. He was therefore never truly at odds with Tori over his physical appearance because the latter was infatuated with his eyes and spirit. That may be the cause of Tori's family's decision to set aside their differences in height and embrace their love for one another.